Hello, and welcome to an all signs love reading using a unique deck of cards, so it can also be a review in such a way that you get to interact with the deck and not just look at the cards. Sometimes cards can look pretty and we relate to them, but it isn't until we see them in a reading that we really can be affected by them. So I thought I'd give you a chance to take a look at that. So again, the Chakra Wisdom Tarot by Tori Hartman. Okay. And you'll notice that the deck's very bright, has a lot of warmth when you first look at it. It's been pre-shuffled. I'm just cutting the deck a little bit more here, and let's see what we have. Oh wow, the artwork on here is just amazing. And if you're familiar with chakras, you know you get a rainbow of variation. The higher you go, the more purple, right? So the lower chakras, red, and then it travels up yellow, green, blue. Oh, forgot the orange there too. Yeah. Okay, so red, orange, yellow. Yeah. So, okay, and the overall energy. Let me move these cards up since I want to make sure they get into the frame. I'm always reworking the camera to make sure everything's always in the frame. Okay. Yeah. And I'll give you a chance to kind of look at the cards while we have a lot of strong cards here though too. I see that. But I know that oftentimes we're so familiar with the strong Rider-Waite images, and these are so beautifully drawn that over camera it's hard to really appreciate the detail in a reading. This is something that would probably, I think I would work better with a personal, use, because the imagery is so pretty. But I could try to bring it up to the camera and maybe you can appreciate the artwork along with me. Okay, you're a King of Swords, and that suggests to me that you don't really need to have somebody in your life. You require for people to be very communicative with you. You can cut right to the chase when it comes to communications and logic. And that is what you want from your person. But you're not feeling especially strong in that department, perhaps because even though you're fine on your own, you really do want to have your person in your life. And here's the Lover's card. This suggests that your person is actually your soulmate. And it's interesting for the variation on this deck. There's still some similarities in the sense of, look, the male, the divine masculine, because we don't do genders, obviously, has more is more looking at the physical world here with her. He's focused on her, and she's closing her eyes almost in a more spiritual sense of this connection. And I see that a lot in the regular Rider-Waite. So I like how this is showing a very similar type of vibe, right? And there's something spiritual overlooking the whole picture, right? So there is going to be some conflict. The lovers always suggest that, these differences that draw us together, right? You're also a Princess of Cups, which is similar to the Page of Cups. And in the Rider-Waite, the page is often holding a cup that has some fish in it, so there's something kind of fishy. But in this particular case, there's nothing fishy going on here. But the princess is looking a little lost, hoping that she's not even holding the cup still, like she feels confident about it. So maybe that's where the similarity with the, fishiness in the Rider-Waite. There's a sense of, do I have what it takes? Is this person going to accept my cup of love? And here we have the Temperance card, which is, that case of, that your person is is very, like, weighs and considers everything, and they like to come to a moderate position. They're probably very wise, and as much passion as they may have and want to show you, it'll always be mitigated by all the other considerations. So, I often find that someone with this energy is good for a relationship, right? And then we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess, which it's interesting, we have a lot of one, two, three major arcana in your, oh no, four. The Star, I just noticed that because it was upside down, so I can't wait to look at that too. Gosh, these pictures are so pretty. The High Priestess always has one foot in the real world, sort of like, here we have somebody in a more spiritual state and then someone who's more grounded in the physical. The High Priestess is sees things realistically because they do have one foot grounded, and a lot of times, you're told when the High Priestess is around, your intuition is correct, but that's because the High Priestess keeps one foot in the real world. She doesn't, or he, the High Priestess is not necessarily a gender, is somebody that doesn't just give in to any flights of fancy and call it intuition. There is something that's very wise about the High Priestess, and so if there's a sense of what your inner compass is telling you, well, the High Priestess is telling you, yes, that is actually it. Okay. And then we have the Star card, which I want to turn around for a second. I probably should have done that for the King of Swords too, just so you can see it really clearly. And I'm going to turn this right side up too. To be honest with you, in my readings, the reverses are not opposites. The energy is the same, but they're latent. They're holding back on it. They're worried about, but they're there. They're just some aspect of them that is, that needs to be considered. So I'll just keep these right side up because for these cards, it's probably easier to focus on the artwork in the right side up position a little bit more than you would with the Rider-Waite. I'm still reading the reversals though. Okay. So the Star represents the idea that this person it's another soulmate type of card, but the Lovers is stronger in that sense. But it suggests that it's your destiny. You feel that this person is meant for you. And by the looks of these very strong cards from the major arcana, I would say that there's a very high likelihood of it. Now, the fact that it's upside down, right, because we did have it in that state, we're reminded that sometimes we have to make our own fate, right? So follow your intuition, and maybe regardless of whether or not it's fated, this is a soulmate and you want to make it happen. So keep that in mind when you're making decisions, that you will be given opportunities to walk through something and to reach your goal, and you may have to really work at it to get what you want taken care of. Now, I'm not saying you're going to manipulate this situation and, I don't know, do the equivalent of like put a spell or on someone and like get it the wrong way. No, I just mean that you put the work into it to get this, to make this happen. The destiny is there, but sometimes it's up to us to make that difference. This is the Two of Cups, which is it's another soulmate energy. So, I have to say, you've got a lot of soulmate energy here on the table here. The Two of Cups is about coming into union. So you sense that your person does want to come into union with you. However, it's upside down, right? So there's a fear that or that you know what, actually I feel like is you think that your person doesn't think the timing is right at this moment. So that's what I'm feeling. And that's probably what is giving you some pause to consider whether or not you're meant to be. But I think that it's just timing. So try not to worry. I am seeing a fatedness about this. The Seven of Cups. You know, I almost have to remember what that is in the Rider Waite, but actually I know what that is. That's having, look at you. See this person just looking at all these cups. There's so many cups to choose from. But this person's eyes is gazing upon one particular cup, and that's the cup that is wanted the most amid those choices. So I think you see your person is having a lot of choices, but they are focused on you. And then the Six of Coins. The Six of Coins. So, you know, I have to go back to my, you know, I'm so used to seeing the Rider Waite that, you know, when I look at the picture, I've already figured it out. But you know what? Regardless, because the imagery is different, I actually can't just say, oh yeah, it means that, unless the imagery supports it. So the Six of Coins is suggesting to me that, look at this, there's so much in play. You know what? I see this person paying attention to these resources. And I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call it work, but I see that this person is putting energy into fertilizing it, making it grow. Like there's a tree here, so I'm seeing some growth imagery here. But in terms of pentacles, but pentacles are not just, you know, coins, that is, are not just, you know, money. It's also love. It's any kind of resources. So you could be your inner resources, right? So there's definitely your person, you know that your person feels a certain amount of growth with you, and they have a lot of choices, but they're focused on you. They're not ready to come forward into union with you, which has given you some pause as to whether or not it's meant to be. But your intuition is correct. You do have one foot in the solid ground, and you also know that your person is pretty, looks at things in a moderate way and doesn't go overboard. So when they approach you, they're going to consider every aspect of it. And that's probably why they haven't decided, you know, come forward, because you remember this was in the upside down, right? Okay. And you've got the lovers, the definite soulmate thing going on, and being worried here that what you have to offer is good enough right now. But here's the thing. You also have the Princess of Coins, which is another page, which is, you know, like looking at life from a childlike energy doesn't really work in this deck, because this is not childlike. This is more like from a young feminine point of view, right? And I don't necessarily mean gender, but a feminine point of view. I guess that's the best way to put it. And now I think that a feminine person holding pentacles is going to look at it and see, like, what all do I have to offer here? In this card, it's all about the love offering. But here, this princess is looking at it saying, what is this that I have to offer? So I think in some ways you're still figuring out what your gifts are in this situation. And while I don't see that you're sure that there's going to be movement from your person right away, the High Priestess is telling you your intuition's right and that you are soulmates. So this is going to move at some point. We'd have to do some more readings to get into more specifics, and I could consider that, but that would be on a follow-up reading, probably on Vimeo or something like that. But let's go ahead and finish this off like it's any other kind of love reading that I would use the Romance Angels cards for. Oracle for advices, okay? Keep an open mind. Okay. So your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So basically, that's probably why you were a little bit concerned when this, because this was in the reverse, remember? So I think that what you're sensing is that something's different. And it makes you a little unsure, but that doesn't change anything. And if you keep an open mind, you're going to find that this is all going to come together. Reconciliation. So if, whether it was in a past life, if you were together, or if you were with this person before, or perhaps with this person now and there's been a breakup situation, this is also some more soulmate energy. So I'm seeing soulmate all over the place in this reading. It's really intense. If you're here to look at this deck, I'm here to tell you, whenever you're watching this, the person that you feel is your person, oh yeah, they're your person. Doesn't always mean what we want it to mean, but they are definitely, you guys are definitely making, okay, and getting to know each other. Now, this would suggest that you don't know each other, but that's not exactly true. The way decks are made, there's a concept that often encompasses a larger context than something that specific. And oftentimes what it says above and below don't necessarily coincide. So there's a wide range of possibility here. What I'm seeing is that, okay, whether or not it was from a past life and you're getting to know each other now, that's always a possibility. But I don't think it's that literal. I think that if you were together before, or you knew each other as friends before, it's a new journey to know each other now. And if you're having problems with this person and it's about getting, reconnecting and keeping this relationship, well, you might want to start by maybe the idea that you two didn't really truly understand each other, and it's time to learn how to understand each other. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this all signs reading, and since there is a deck review involved, I thought, you know what, I will just pick some random cards and show you what some of them are, just to get an idea. Princess of Wands, how pretty, right? Ooh, there's some of the darker, we didn't get as many dark cards in our reading, but there's the Five of Swords. And I'm just pulling random ones out here. 10 of Coins. Let's see what else I can pull out here. This, this is an interesting Sun card, because look at all the dark imagery for the Sun. That's wild. I'm sure that if I played with that energy some more, I'd understand it. Look at the Devil here. This is an interesting take on it. And how many more? I don't know. When I feel like I'm done, I guess. And you can turn it off at any time. Just don't forget to hit like and subscribe. What do we have here? The Knight of Coins. Ooh. That's the slow-moving knight. And, of course, if this is not your reading, you can always check some of the other decks. Or you can go and look at your sign, or any sign that you feel a strong connection to. There we go, the Wheel of Fortune. That is a wild card for that. And if there's something about my reading that you would like to see improvement on, please keep in mind that I am still new, and that I could use some constructive criticism if you need to put a dislike. All right, 9 of Swords. And one more. The Tower. Well, I don't want to leave it on such a dark moment. You know what? Here we go. You know what? This is perfect. The World, because some people consider this the you know, an ending. I don't, by the way. I think that it's sort of similar to the Ten of Pentacles, but in a more broader sense. All right. Till next time.